For Act 2, we will explore the theater from medieval Japan and Europe and look at it during the Renaissance. No theater was brought to Japan from China along the Silk Road as early as the 8th century. As both a classical performance art and a form of storytelling, No is structured around song and dance to tell stories of legends and histories. It was popularized in the 14th century by Zeami during the Muromachi period. There were 4 main No troupes that were under the patronage of shrines and temples that traveled throughout Japan, performing the plays on wooden outdoor stages. During the Tokugawa period from 1603 to 1867, the shogunate made No its official ceremonial art and issued regulations for its governance. No thus became increasingly standardized with an emphasis on tradition rather than innovation. According to Kizuki Takayuki, a leading No performer, No is probably the oldest traditional performing art in the world still being performed today. The performers moved slowly to demonstrate the passage of time and quickly to demonstrate the heightened emotional state of the character they were portraying. The contrast between the slow and frenetic movement were among the highlights of the whole play. The costumes the performers wore, as well as the masks, were steeped with symbolic meaning and emulated the clothing that characters would have genuinely worn. During the Middle Ages, also known as the Dark Ages in Europe, was a period of intellectual darkness after the collapse of the Roman Empire. It was a time when the majority of the population was illiterate. Through the Middle Ages in Europe, authors often employed scribes who represented the church. For these reasons, the Catholic Church grew in popularity as it provided people with some semblance of order and control during a time dictated by the rules of feudalism. In order to educate the masses, the church used 3 types of plays performed on either the steps of the churches or in public spaces. The first were the miracle plays, and they were used by the church to present real or fictitious accounts of the lives, miracles, and martyrdom of saints. They were performed during religious festivals, but over time these plays became divorced from the church and were performed to poke fun at ecclesiastical elements, such as the importance placed on relics. The mystery plays often represented biblical subjects and developed from the need to explain important events in the Bible, including the creation, Adam and Eve, and the Last Judgment. However, mystery plays experienced an evolution when guilds throughout Europe began producing the plays. And lastly, the morality plays were used by the Catholic Church to teach people moral lessons. Characters personified such moral qualities as charity and vice, or abstractions such as death or youth. The action of the morality play centers on a hero such as mankind, whose inherent weaknesses are assaulted by such personified diabolic forces as the 7 deadly sins. But the hero may choose redemption and enlist the aid of such figures as the 4 daughters of God: mercy, justice, temperance, and truth. During the Reformation of the 16th century and the rise of other religions, these types of plays died out or were suppressed, especially with the invention of the printing press by Johann Gutenberg. There was a shift in the minds of society, and professional players and playwrights dominated the stage with comedy, wit, and tragedies. The public preferred the secular productions given by touring companies. This gave rise to the plays and structure that would become popular during the Renaissance. Now, the Commedia dell'arte originated in Italy in the 16th century during the Renaissance and was characterized by unwritten or improvised drama. Although the actors would feed off the energy of the audience in their performances, the material, characters, relationships, and situations were chosen beforehand. The subject matter was concerned with disgraceful love intrigues, clever tricks to get money, or to outwit a simpleton. As this genre of performance grew in popularity, so did various traditions. There was always comic relief in the form of low-brow entertainment, so imitating women or consuming vast amounts of alcohol or food designed to make the audience laugh. The last play we'll choose is the proficient playwright William Shakespeare. He wrote plays from inspiration stemming from his observations of the world around him. He wrote tragedies and histories and comedies. The common themes in all his plays include appearance and reality, change, and conflict. Initially, these plays were written and presented for royalty, but over time these plays became more satirical in nature, and he made his plays accessible to the public to be performed in large theaters. Early English politicians gained what they knew about history from Shakespeare. Even though Shakespeare's plays were based on historical characters and events, according to Henry Malden, no one serious puts forward Shakespeare as a good historical authority. So, in conclusion, the theater provides a wonderful avenue for exploring cultural expression, commenting on society, and recounting history.
Free created using Powtoon.